EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the memorial torch honoring legendary owner Al Davis has just been lit, and we are set for football at Allegiant Stadium. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap, and the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, they'll burn you. Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. A run once more with Hampton. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And a glance here at the veteran who will be leading them. Now in his 8th year in the NFL.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
It's 2nd and
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Up the middle, it's Genty. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, there's
a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Off the play fake. Mendoza. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Mendoza's pass.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Now 3rd down and 7. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. That's a corner that got in there for the sack. Dante Jackson.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
That opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here.
At the 27-yard line.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Herbert going to give to Hampton. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
He was brought down at the 28.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Trying to run for it with Hampton. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
A gain of 4 yards. And the Chargers, first down.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Here's Herbert. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
2nd down and 4. Herbert off of play action. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll run with Hampton. Only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line.
A gain of 15 yards.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. On first down, it's Hampton. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Again, it's Hampton. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Omarion Hampton, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are on the board first here in Vegas. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead.
Makes the score.
So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here, and they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. A run straight ahead with Genty. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Mendoza. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. But he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space. Couldn't uncover at the end of the route. And that one winds up incomplete.
Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
It's a gain of
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
First down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Herbert. Open man right side. That's McConkey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Herbert now. And this one finds McConkey. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's another Chargers.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Touchdown, Chargers! Trey Harris, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Here now, 2nd and 4. Off play action. Mendoza. Open man down the field. It's Bowers. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he still is yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Mendoza. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Las Vegas first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
On first down, it's Genty. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 2nd and 11. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
A 6-yard gain brings up 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. Mendoza. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Brock Bowers from 4 yards out. And the Raiders have cut it back within a score.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Charger offense had Justin Herbert heading back onto the field. He threw a touchdown pass last time they had it. And he'll look to get him in the end zone again here as they start with the first down. He gets it to Johnston. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
It's a gain of
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Chargers.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
2 yards on the pickup.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. And the Raiders have got him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
And this offense on third down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough it, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the gun on 3rd down, Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. On the handoff, it's Laube. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
He's taken down.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Mendoza now from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players, and glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He's across midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
The Chargers, first down. A gain of 22 yards. First down, Chargers.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, Herbert. He gets this to Hampton. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Rondé Gadsden as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Dicker down, attack on the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score. Chargers.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. They go play action here on first down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Mendoza. Pass taken in. Browns big tight end. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
And the Las Vegas first down. First and 10.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. That's complete. It's Ashton Jeanty. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
That's another
couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A run out of the gun with Jeanty. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Mendoza. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Gay's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start it out with a run by Hampton. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Stuck for the loss by Devin White.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Up the middle, it's Hampton. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still had the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
In motion, the tight end. Here's Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. Fair catch signal for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Genty. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. From the 31, here's 2nd down and 8. Pass complete to Naylor, right side. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Brings up 3rd down.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 50-yard line.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's to Naylor once again. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 37.
14 yards.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
First and 10.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have
line.
connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's to the left side where he's got Naylor. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 5.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Nice little juke. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Gain of 6.
45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
It's a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that
2nd
run.
and 5.
Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ashton Jeanty, 27 yards. And the Raiders are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
And that's another route the defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2.
The Raiders will line up for the 2-point conversion.
And he'll get in for the 2 points, and that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal.
Chargers 21, Raiders 18.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Charger drive about to get going. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now we'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
First down. A gain of 11 on the play.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Pass out left finds Johnston. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line. The good pick up there of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
They'll work inside here. Hampton. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Herbert now. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The offense on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Back-to-back incompletions in what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here.
I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
Dicker on for the field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raiders offense ready to go.
At their own 27-yard
line. A long drive last
line.
time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Mendoza dancing away at the 30. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Mendoza. Short throw, caught by Bowers. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
A gain of 5.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down.
And the Chargers, 1st down.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the give, this is Hampton. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 7. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Herbert fires the out route and completes it to Harris. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
54 yards rushing for it now in the ball game. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this one is incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Herbert. To the left side, he's got McConkey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Mitchell. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
Goal line.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Second and goal from the 1. Hampton, touchdown, Chargers. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Herbert and the Chargers staying put. They'll line up and go for 2.
The Chargers will line up for the
now receiver in motion left. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more.
Raiders 18.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Looking to put a drive together. And here's Mendoza throwing to start the drive. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
2nd and 4. It gets it right back to Mayer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 11. And a Raider first down. First and 10.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Tucker. And he's brought down.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throw right side looked in here by Besh. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw again. He'll try and do this himself. And avoids the contact by sliding.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
Here's 1st down. Looking to throw. Mendoza. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's over the middle. He finds Naylor. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. But just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
They didn't need much. They didn't get much. But what they did get was enough for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw again. That is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.